When you spend hours snapping Lego studs into base plates, you have a lot of time to reflect on what goes into building something that lasts. Here at the Bricksonian, every mosaic we build is a story, but every once in a while, we get to build a portrait of someone whose story feels bigger than life itself. Someone who reminds us that kindness isn't passive. It's built brick by brick, stud by stud, through a lifetime of deliberate choices. Today, we are building Dolly Parton. When you look at Dolly today, you see an absolute icon. But before the 11 Grammy Awards, the 100 million records sold, and the global empire, she was simply Dolly Rebecca Parton. Born in 1946 to one of 12 children raised in a tiny one-room cabin in the Great Smoky Mountains of eastern Tennessee. Her family was so poor that her father paid the doctor who delivered her with a sack of cornmeal. She grew up without electricity, without indoor plumbing, but with a family rich in faith, music, and imagination. And that humble beginning became a cornerstone of everything she would ever create. As we lay down the background layers of this piece, we're keeping her roots in mind. The day after she graduated high school in 1964, she packed a cardboard suitcase and boarded a bus for Nashville. She wasn't just chasing a dream, she was carrying an extraordinary talent. Dolly didn't just sing, she wrote the soundtrack of working class America. She composed her first song on a homemade guitar crafted from an old mandolin. And by 1973, in one single 24-hour period, she penned two of the most iconic tracks in music history, Jolene and I Will Always Love You. Think about that for a second. And one day, she gave the world a raw, vulnerable anthem of jealousy and a tender, unselfish farewell song that would eventually become one of the best-selling singles of all time. She gave voice to working women everywhere with 9 to 5, Shattered Roots with 25 Billboard #1 country hits, and earned her place in the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If Dolly had stopped at the music, her legacy would already be secure. But what makes her a true living legend isn't the platinum records on her wall. It's the warmth she puts into the world. In 1995, Dolly wanted to do something special for the children of her hometown. Her father, a brilliant man who worked hard his entire life, never had the chance to learn how to read or write. Inspired by his struggle, she launched the Imagination Library, a simple program designed to mail one free, high-quality book every single month to young children from birth to age 5. What started as a small local effort exploded into a global movement. To date, Dolly's Imagination Library has gifted over 325 million books to children across 5 countries. Millions of kids who might never have owned a book now have a library of their own, all because a girl from the Smokies wanted to honor her dad. And her generosity doesn't stop there. When devastating wildfires swept through the Smoky Mountains, Dolly established the My People Fund, providing direct monthly checks to families who lost their homes. Dolly doesn't give for applause. She gives because she believes that if you are blessed with power and reach, your primary job is to lift others up. And here she is, Dolly Parton, built entirely stud by stud. At the Bricksonian, our mission is to celebrate a life well lived. Building this piece was a constant reminder that greatness isn't measured by what you keep, it's measured by what you give. Dolly has spent 80 years showing the world that love, laughter, and a willing heart can change millions of lives. And to us, that is a life well lived. Thank you, Dolly, for being a light in the dark, for showing us how to stay true to who we are, and for reminding us that every single act of kindness builds a better world. You will be missed.
Bricksonian